welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo. I am joined by my two curiously chilly co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only. He is Uncle Sam.
Hello.
To my left, it is none other than our very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Pelzola.
Hello.
Behind the computer, real high and coated in goo, it's Bruce, the tugboat, Venditti.
Listen, he was annihilated. Look at this. He's annihilated right now.
It's just half his face.
Annihilated.
Shout out to Baldo. What up, Baldo? I see you.
Baldo's already here today. Hey,
Baldo.
Baldo. How you doing, man?
Que pasó, you baldo?
Amen. Amen. What he said. Uncle Sam, it's Friday. It was a long, felt like a long week, cold week. No Monday night football, no Thursday night football.
My stomach hurts right now
Why?
because the scumbag is back.
We'll get into the scumbaggery. Uncle Sam, how was your week?
Great.
High points, low points, pits, peaks?
It's great. Just phenomenal.
Can you, for once, just give me a high point and a low
No,
point?
there is no fucking high.
There had to be something
Listen,
good.
the
to
high
happen.
point is me getting out of fucking bed every day, okay?
That's
That's
it.
the high point.
That's it.
All right? Me making it fucking here is the high point.
See, the problem, that's so optimistic, but at the same time, I know
So
it just
true.
has such a negative, just so negative. Well, what was the
Fire
low?
Bruce? Is that Jack?
That is Jack. Jack's in there talking
Hi,
about Fire.
hi, Jack.
Fire Bruce. Should we make t-shirts that say Fire Bruce?
Jack, did you ever get a house? And dox your address in the chat if you did.
Talking shit. Talking shit. Zolo, how was your week?
Cold.
High point, low point, pit, peak?
Oh man. It's cold.
What?
It's been cold.
Dude, you work inside all day. What the fuck are you talking
And
about?
my office is 62 degrees.
Oh,
I have
God,
I
that's
have
horrible.
I have a heater on my feet.
I got a foot heater this week, too.
Yeah, I have a
I got a
heater on
foot.
my
I
feet.
finally
What the
broke.
fuck are
I
we
finally
talking
broke and
about?
got my foot heater. You came in here with 6 fucking layers of Sherpa material.
I have
on today.
one jacket, dude.
Dude. Yeah. Oh,
One
but, I
jacket.
mean, look at it.
What do you got? A t-shirt on? A
No,
fucking
I got
sweatshirt?
nothing. I just got the
A
sweatshirt and nothing.
A t-shirt. I got a fucking
Sweatshirt and
t-shirt
nothing.
on and a flannel.
Shout out to P_Wooden.
Sorry?
P_Wooden. He's been in the last few.
Okay.
Shout out to you, bud.
And Poo Mylan.
Pooh Mylan. Yeah, Pooh.
Poo Mylan.
Pooh Mylan. Bruce Lee.
Where's Wyatt?
Yeah.
We cyberbullied him away.
Where's Wyatt?
He's not coming
No,
back.
so Wyatt unfortunately got blocked from the TikTok channel.
I don't think we should box him.
You think we should unblock Wyatt?
Unblock Wyatt.
Well, we'll see.
Get Wyatt on here. I want to have.
I want those Eagles fans.
I want to have a
show up
discussion
today.
with him about manhood.
If we just start talking about Nick Sirianni enough, the algorithm will probably put us in Eagles TikTok, and then we'll just get destroyed. But we'll get there. Bruce, how was your week?
Not bad.
Any high points, low points, pits, peaks?
No,
You got any big weekend plans coming up?
no, there's no football, so
There is football.
No, I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying.
Oh, so it doesn't matter anymore? You don't give a fuck? Just smoke dope and play Call of Duty?
That's it. Smoke dope and play fucking.
Uh,
a lot of snow. Could go snowboarding.
maybe he'll head back up to.
Yeah, he can fuck off with that. He ain't getting no time off.
Shout out to President Baker in the chat. Shout out to President Baker. He's pissed that he's not getting any love.
Why?
Because I didn't shout him out immediately when the show started.
President Baker, I shout you out on Instagram every day. We have conversations.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's just great.
What? You have conversations with Leon every day?
Yeah, it's usually about
Well,
wrestling.
you must be really fucking bored.
It's usually about wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah. He also has some Bruce-esque fan theories on the Lions. We gotta have President Baker back in here soon. Maybe
Joe.
Make sure I'm off that day.
Joe in the YouTube chat. Why don't I always get notifications for when you guys are live on YouTube? That's because even though you may be subscribed, you have not ringed the bell yet. You have to go next to the subscription button and click the little bell so that you get notified when we go live. Mondays and Fridays, sometime around 5. Just for the remainder of the year. Then it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sometime around 5 next season. Okay. With all that being said, actually I got a request last week, and the request was tipped meats. that we haven't done any tipped meats in a long time? I'm not kidding.
It's fucking winter. Hello?
Everybody's like, "Where's tipped meats?" been?"
winter. We don't fucking.
You
grill
haven't
that much.
barbecued at all?
I have not barbecued yet this winter.
Why? Why?
I just haven't, man.
So
every now and then I'll fire up the Blackstone, but I don't barbecue this time of year. It's too fucking cold.
but what do you Blackstone this time of year?
Oh, I do like breakfast sausage, bacon, shit like that.
So you're a breakfast Blackstoner
Oh,
right now in the winter.
Yeah, that's all that gets cooked on there in the winter.
No burgers. You don't go out just.
No,
fuck it.
dude, listen to me. I just
It's
I don't even.
it's an undertaking.
I don't eat burgers during the winter. I don't.
I only eat restaurant burgers during the winter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
I
not
know.
going outside.
where? I had a Grey Ghost burger last Thursday.
See,
Is that place any good?
Gregos
Grey Ghost is the best burger in
best
town.
burger in probably in
Okay.
the state. Okay, I will say, me as of late, I've been so deep into Little Tony's burger as of late.
Really?
I
Little
just don't.
what?
Little Tony's on
Let me know.
Mac.
I'll meet you
Little
up there. Let
LTs.
me know when you go.
The problem is I don't have the effort to go downtown when it's this shitty out. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm just gonna go to Little Tony's if I'm in the mood for a burger. And they got a good burger. You know what else they have that's really good? Chili. They got some nice chili at Little Tony's.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a question for all of you, all three of you, on bacon. It's a hot take.
'Kay.
This is my food hot take.
All right.
How do you guys like your bacon?
I know we're probably gonna disagree here, but
It's not a disagreement. I'm in the minority for how I like my bacon.
I like that shit crispy as fuck.
Yeah, it's all.
I mean,
my
crispy
wife
as
loves it to the
fuck.
point where it's
Almost
You want it to
falling
crumble to
apart.
dust?
No,
where
not
you bite
quite.
into it and it turns into bacon bits. That's
No,
what she likes.
that's a little too much. But I mean, I don't like any pull.
Yeah, I like the pull.
See, I knew that's, yeah,
I like
know.
my shit
It's still oinky.
in between. It could have a little crust on it, but I want mine.
You want some pull. I don't
want
like
chew.
to chew.
I want chew.
I'm not about the chew.
Yeah, I want it to slide. I like it when it slides. Like you don't even have to chew it. It's just gonna go right down. That's how I eat my bacon. Near undercooked. As soon
That's
as it hits the
incredible. Could you do that
165,
one more time? Slides right down. I hear you.
So actually, you know what's funny is I was reading a cookbook today, and the guy was
Okay.
talking about lamb chops. Okay.
Okay.
And last night I was at Luigi's. We got lamb chops. Ordered a medium, right? Because that's what they suggest. I have a hot take too.
which Luigi's were you at?
Jefferson. Yeah, the OG Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hot take on lamb chops. I prefer my lamb chops well done, browned all the way through.
Listen to me. I eat all my meat well through now. I don't do.
No,
what
a
I used-
steak should not be
when
well
I-
done.
listen to
a
me,
steak
when
should
I-
not be well done.
Hold on. Let me finish. If you cook it the right way, and if you're buying a good cut of meat, it should be cooked well.
Yes, but it doesn't taste as good.
Not well done to the point where it's a fucking hockey puck. I'm talking nice, soft. Cut it with a butter knife. If you can do that with your steak and it's nice,
Little
and
pink.
well, I don't like anything pink. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. I used to eat. Listen to me. I used to brown my shit on the outside and eat it.
Wow.
Brown it
Like a
and
couple-
then eat it.
like a
And
couple
that motherfucker
seconds
would have
sear.
blood. I'd have blood running down my face. I can't eat shit like that no more.
Why?
Because ever since I started making more of a Mexican traditional cooking, barbecuing and stuff like that, all their shit is well done, dude.
Well, that's true.
Nothing is fucking medium. Nothing is rare.
Do you make a
It's
mean
cooked
carne
all the
asada?
way. My wife can make a really fucking good carne.
Bring us some food one day. Can you bring us some food? Or what if we road trip to him for dinner one night?
No,
Well, but
We'll eat outside.
my wife doesn't do that.
you won't bring me carne asada?
I mean, if I make it, yeah,
If you make some
I'll
carne
bring you
asada,
some.
we could have a live tasting of the carne asada on
Anyway.
the show. That'd be fantastic. It'd be a great way.
My wife's making chili rellenos tomorrow. Poblanos, yeah.
Okay, now I have a question.
Yeah.
How does she do them? Are they fried?
Well, you roast them first.
Right.
You roast them. You got to peel them.
Peel.
You peel
scoop,
all the veins and shit out.
right.
Okay.
Stuff.
And then she stuffs some mozzarella.
Just mozzarella.
Just mozzarella.
The only thing she puts in there
And
is
she's
mozzarella.
got Casablanco too.
Okay.
And she sautés onions with it, dude. It's fucking amazing.
Does she make her own queso blanco?
I'm sorry?
Does she make her own queso blanco?
No, we buy Casablanco. she's not making cheese. You know.
Oh,
She's gonna start making tortillas and
Oh fuck yeah.
tamales here.
She got the
soon.
press.
Yeah.
Fuck
We bought
yes.
it. We
That's
bought it today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we went. I went to Los Hermanos today, and I bought a press today.
What is Los Hermanos?
It's
The
a
brothers?
Mexican grocery store.
That's awesome.
You ever go to what do you think of Honeybee? You guys ever go down to Honeybee?
We used to go down there years ago. I don't go down there no more.
No.
Bullshit. I don't like Mexicans, so you know.
Oh, you can tell it's that time of year. It's that time of year. Bruce, what do you think of some meat? What are you eating for dinner tonight, Bruce? What kind of
SpaghettiOs
spaghetti?
in the can.
What kind of spaghetti?
SpaghettiOs.
Homemade sauce or
Wander to the kitchen in my robe.
What do you got to pray? You break it out to Prego tonight?
No, my mom's cooking some, I don't know, some spaghetti meatballs.
so she's making a
shit.
homemade sauce?
Okay, but
Peggy's making fucking spaghetti.
now hold on though.
What?
Hold on.
Listen, I'm sure
How's
Peggy
Peggy's
knows how to
spaghetti
cook.
and meatballs?
It's pretty good. I think she dabbles in my nana's recipe.
There you go.
Well, because she's Irish.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. My mom's Polish.
True,
Hello.
True.
Married to an Italian. She knows
That's true. Okay. Yeah. if the
Listen,
recipe
once you
book
marry
got
a
passed
Dago,
down-
hey, your Aunt Laura's spaghetti sauce, fucking primo, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
It's good. It's
Well,
real.
I will say, out of all the meatballs that I've had, his are in the top.
That's it.
He-
There's
he
no
cranked
beating
out
me
some
when it comes to meatballs.
His meatballs are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Chunks of eggplant in the
Oh,
meatballs.
dude, it's just fucking amazing, dude.
I know.
Uh,
Leon in the chat
you
talked.
know how long it's been since I made meatballs?
Probably at my
I
house.
can't even tell you.
Was that the last time you did it? Was that
Yeah,
my house?
At your
It
house.
was years ago.
Yeah.
Leon's in the chat talking shit right now about how Bruce is going to have meatloaf. I'm going to say this, and I know this is going to be unpopular. I truly think meatloaf is one of the most underrated. When
Dude,
done
hey,
right.
It's gotta be done
I
right.
seen a new
gotta be done right.
recipe for meatloaf, and it's got fucking jalapenos on top of it. There's a new recipe for
See?
meatloaf out there.
See?
I'm trying to get my wife to make her meatloaf and use sliced jalapenos on it, and then you
Fresh or
add-
pickled?
You add something.
Because some
so-
pickled jalapenos
I
was
like the
so
pickled
good.
ones.
Yes, same.
I like
same.
those.
Same.
Yeah.
Because jumping back to Luigi's, where I went last night, usually on Thursdays, they're special. They had prime rib strips last night or some bullshit. But usually, and they get their meat from Fairway.
Okay.
It's a Wagyu ground beef meatloaf.
Okay. I bet you it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I will go out of my way. I check their
Well,
special menu.
real meatloaf is 3 different meats.
Yeah.
So
But this is just good.
it's a third, a third, a third. You know why? I use that for my meatballs.
yes.
A third, a third, a third.
Yeah.
I use a third of ground beef, a third of veal, ground veal, and I use Italian sausage.
Yeah, you got to have the pork in there.
That's what you do.
Got to.
And then you mix it all together with a boatload of breadcrumbs and about 3 eggs. I make anywhere from like 200 meatballs when I make meatballs. Yeah, so and then we'll put them in. I'll cook them all up. I fry them. Don't ever bake meatballs.
No.
Fry them.
Agreed.
Fry them. Don't put them in the oven. It fucking dries them out.
Cook
It
the life
changes the
out of 'em.
taste.
Cook
It
the
changes
life
the
out of 'em.
taste.
So
Fry
Put
your
ours
meat.
in the
Fry your
sauce.
meatballs.
You brown them on each side, and then you finish them in the sauce.
Well, what you
That's where
do
I come from.
here's what I do. I brown them on the outside, okay, and then I cover them to cook the inside. That's what I do. So the outside's got that fucking crust on it, and you chew into that, and that inside is nice and soft.
yeah,
At the Luigi's menu right
it's
now.
fantastic. Like that's because see, you know what triggered the final trigger of us needing to talk to meats today was the fact that Zola walked in here with those ribeyes.
Yeah, with a pack of fucking
Is that a couple of
ribeyes.
ribeyes?
They're just Kroger choice ribeyes, but if you prepare them right, they hit. They do the job. They get the job done.
Oh, this is insane. This is insane. Elizabeth just texted me and said that Luigi's has the Wagyu meatloaf tonight. They didn't have it last night, but they have it tonight. That's just so depressing to me.
Go back.
Two in a row. I don't know, but I did. I had their chicken parm last night. It was very good. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it here. I see. Hi, Allie. How you doing today? Good. Everybody's here.
Uncle Sam, do you want to say hi to Allie?
I already did.
Should we talk football or should we keep talking about meat?
Meat?
We got a whole off season to talk meat.
We got a lot of time to talk about meat. We should talk about some football. There's a lot of news going on right now.
Oh God.
We only have 2 games to break down today, so we could talk about some other stuff. The Saints completed an in-person interview with Anthony Weaver for their head coaching position today.
Who?
Anthony Weaver.
I believe he was the Dolphins' defensive
he was
coordinator.
the Dolphins
I'm
something
just-
or other.
I'm
Yeah.
just messing with you, dude.
Why?
Go ahead.
I didn't know who he was, genuinely.
Yeah.
The Jaguars have hired a new coach. Former offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, Liam Cohen. This one I think at least one of us had this pinned.
That's a great coach, great landing spot for a good coach.
Yeah.
Could be a good deal there. The circumstances to get him there, if you'd like to explain that.
No, please go ahead.
Uncle Sam, did you keep up with all that yesterday?
I'm sorry?
Supposedly, Liam Cohen was in line. There's a whole separate conversation. After Ben Johnson got hired,
Right.
and then there was one more hiring where they were like, okay, we messed up. They didn't fire Trent Baalke. Shad Khan didn't fire Trent Baalke.
Then he did.
And then he fired Trent
Correct.
Baalke, which probably made the Jacksonville job a little bit more appealing. So he fired Trent Baalke on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, it was announced that Liam Cohen was signing a 3-year extension with Tampa to be their offensive coordinator for the foreseeable future. He was going to be the highest paid coordinator in all of football. He was going to get head coach money. And yesterday they couldn't find him because he was in Jacksonville having another interview with the Jags, and he ended up taking the job. So there's some really crazy circumstances surrounding Liam Cohen taking the Jags job, but that's a good fit. That's a really good landing spot for Liam Cohen, in my opinion. I think he's a great coach.
I can't disagree there. I mean, what both coordinators did there with Baker Mayfield the last 2 years is truly something to be. What, you don't like it?
No, I do. I like
Yeah,
it.
I mean, what they've done with Baker,
No.
I don't know how much of it's on them, but
It's just, when is the Todd Bowles experiment going to end?
well, honest to God, if you think about it, the Todd Bowles thing, I know I talked a lot of shit about Todd Bowles because I did not think the Buccaneers would rebound from the Brady era the way that they did.
They have a quarterback.
Okay, let's hold on here.
They have a fucking quarterback.
Baker Mayfield, when he got there, was not a quarterback.
Okay, should
Baker Mayfield was a fill-in.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker
if you
Mayfield is
remember,
now a quarterback.
was in L.A. filling in for the injured Matt Stafford, and actually had that team playing pretty fucking well at that time.
Correct, but prior to that,
Before
where
he
was
went to Tampa.
Prior to that, where was he?
Where was he? In Cleveland, where everybody goes
Selling
to die.
insurance, exactly.
In Cleveland, where everybody goes to die.
This one was surprising to me, and I'd like both of your guys' input here. Bobby Slowick out as Texans offensive coordinator. Zolo said before the show started he was the belle of the ball last year. Everybody wanted him, and he chose not to go. That one was very surprising to me. And I feel like this right here is part of the reason why Ben Johnson took that Chicago job. Because if you come out and look like shit next year, you're out of a job. You're not looking for head coaching jobs. Obviously, Texans offense was somewhat disappointing this year, to say the least. Zolo, what are your thoughts there?
It's interesting. I think their problems just boil down to their offensive line was banged up and didn't play well. I don't know how that's Bobby Slowick's fault. I don't know how you fire that guy after you. That's really strange. A really strange organizational move. He will land on his feet very quick. He can make one of these. What's up?
He could be close to home for all we know. We don't know.
Dallas?
That. Huh? You
Dallas?
signed with Dallas?
No, I mean, what do you mean by close to home?
No, I would like to see Slowick go somewhere.
I mean, I have a feeling all
You
these
think he's
coaches.
going to Dallas?
The only staff that's set is the Patriots staff. I wouldn't shock me if he's a coordinator for any one of these jobs that are opening
Yeah.
up right now. Wouldn't shock
Could
me.
wind
at
up
all.
here in Detroit. We don't
Wouldn't
know.
shock me. Like, who's a defensive-minded head coach that was hired? Vrabel?
Glenn?
Yeah, I mean, that
Vrabel
would be a
Glenn?
perfect spot for Aaron Glenn. Would be a perfect situation for Aaron. They need a quarterback, of course, but yeah, I mean, I don't. That's
What do you mean
that's
they
strange.
need a quarterback?
Here we go. I knew that was.
They have a legend at quarterback. What do you mean?
That Legends head coach ended his career in Green Bay,
I'm sorry?
Week 18 in 2022.
Shit. You'll see.
Speaking of legends, the Las Vegas Raiders have agreed to a 3-year deal that includes a 4th-year option with none other than Uncle Sam's favorite human on earth, Pete the Scumbag Carroll.
They regurgitated this guy up from Seattle, and I don't listen. I will say this: if there's anybody that could turn the Raiders around, it'll be him.
He'll be the oldest coach
What?
in NFL history,
It'll be him.
and
He'll
he's-
turn the Raiders around. You know why? Because all these guys playing now are too young to know what a fucking idiot and a scumbag he really is, and he'll have them guys jumping through fire for him. just like he did the Legion of Boom a decade ago.
He
Just
turned
like that.
He turned 74 in September, so
Yeah.
he'll be the oldest coach of all time. I mean, if you give him a quarterback, I'm very curious to see how this pans out. If you give him a quarterback, and
Listen, he'll do miracles with Aiden O'Connell. Watch.
No, you want to know what's funny?
Because they're going to predicate the game around the run game, the offensive line, and they're going to play defense.
I really do see a spot where Russell Wilson ends up at the Raiders.
Okay.
I do.
fences have mended. Is that what you're telling me?
Quote unquote fences have mended
Anyway,
between the two of them. The fences.
you
have mended.
know Russ is done.
Yeah, no, he is
of
done.
course.
He's done.
But
Of
if you're
course.
waiting, if Russ is just there to fill some more time
Here's the problem.
before whoever they take at 6,
Russell Wilson is a weirdo, dude.
he is a weirdo.
It's got nothing to do with his play.
I agree. He's a
I still think
certified
he
weirdo.
can play, but he's a weirdo, and that overtakes any of the ability he has to play. He's a freak. He's
No.
a freak. He should be on Diddy Island. He's a weirdo, and I'm not going to go any further.
He does
with
seem
that.
like a Diddy Island candidate.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the Diddy Island chaplain.
Yes, he will. He turns 74 on September 15th, and he will be the oldest head coach to ever coach a game.
Well, you know. Anyway, so much for bringing in new blood, huh?
That one flames out really good, or we look back at it like,
Yeah.
damn, they nailed that.
Yeah.
It's one of two. That division.
Here's
is-
one thing. Pete Carroll's not a stupid guy. He's going to bring in top tier guys with him. He'll get top tier guys to coach with him. Guys that he knows can.
He's
turn
always
this
been good
around
at
fast.
building staffs. Like
Yes,
look
he
at the
can
people.
really build a staff.
We're naming names right now. Like
Yeah,
I think
Dan Quinn.
Liam Cohen came
Yeah.
from there. Dave Canales came from there. Dan
Dan
Quinn
Quinn.
came from there. Daryl Bevel. Like there's a long list of names.
Yeah.
That division, real quick. Andy Reid, 3 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl losses with 2 different franchises, by the way. Jim Harbaugh, 1 Super Bowl loss, 1 college national championship. He's the only one to not win a Super Bowl in that division. Sean Payton, 1 Super Bowl win. Pete Carroll, 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl loss, 2 college national championships. That's a hell of a division for coaching.
Should have 2
prowess.
Super Bowl.
Funny
wins.
enough that you
Could,
said
yeah.
that. It's
Should've.
20 conference championship appearances and 9 Super Bowl appearances.
That's insane.
I would say that's probably the best coached fucking division in football.
Well, probably in history.
Yeah.
I'm putting money on the Broncos or the Chargers to win that division next year.
I wouldn't write off Kansas City just yet, but as long as Patty Mahomes, the greatest quarterback ever to play the game, is still around, I'm sure he has something to say about that. Kermit the Frog.
And then the last one we haven't gotten to, Patriots with Mike Vrabel. We already had discussed.
Hold on. We haven't discussed his staff, though. So Vrabel took Lions defensive line coach Terrell Williams, who I really wanted them to keep, but it worked out because the Lions got a viable replacement. But Terrell Williams is going to New England with Vrabel, and he coached under Vrabel for a few years with the
Texans?
Titans.
Oh.
The Titans.
But they got an oldie but a goodie
At OC?
at OC.
That's who picked him up from the airport, supposedly. I'm not kidding. Josh McDaniels picked him up from the airport last week.
Josh McDaniels back in the helm as Patriots offensive coordinator. Uncle Sam.
My
Your thoughts?
God. You remember what we talked about last week when I told you about regurgitating all these old motherfuckers? This coaching fraternity that happens in the NFL. And that's all it is. It's a fraternity. Because all these assholes keep regurgitating year after year after year. And it's ridiculous. I would say this. If he's taking a job as OC, he needs to stay there. Don't ever try to be a head coach again.
No.
Because you're dog shit.
No one will hire him as
you're
a head
Nobody would
coach
hire
again.
fucking
Head coach.
dog shit.
No one's going to hire him as a head coach again.
Yeah. Don't never say never.
Listen to me.
Don't never say never. I never thought Pete Carroll would put his corpse back into this, and he has.
I know, but Pete Carroll's a successful coach. Josh McDaniels was
Listen to me.
flamed
Pete-
out twice
Pete Carroll
as a head
hasn't
coach.
been a successful coach in a decade.
Regardless, Josh McDaniels was never a successful head coach ever
Actually, you know what? Josh McDaniels won a playoff game, but
with Tim Tebow.
correct.
Hey, the only person who's guaranteed to never get another head coaching spot, guaranteed.
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia. That
Listen
tub
to
of
me.
shit will never
Listen to
head
me.
coach another game.
How this guy is still in
Is he still anywhere?
around an NFL locker room?
He
Did
might-
he have something to do with
amazes
Miami
me.
this
No,
year?
he might float over with Belichick. That's a
Oh,
possibility.
God. What? Go and
He didn't do
In the
anything this
college?
year. He was out this year.
No, he was working with Belichick on the 33rd team, whatever that he was doing, whatever
That bullshit.
the underdog. What's it called? The fantasy thing.
Yeah.
He's breaking down film.
Who was breaking down film?
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we just fucking dude. He's awful, dude. He's awful.
Listen to me.
He's an awful person. You've seen how he treats his players, and it's a wonder somebody hasn't shot him yet.
You don't want to talk shit about the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute legend where he was a 4-year letterman at centering guard. Okay? You don't want to talk shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like a center and a guard put together. Fat bastard.
Do we want to touch on the Ben Johnson and the Aaron Glenn?
Well, we did Ben Johnson kind of.
Yeah, but we haven't gone over. There's no staff, but the whole thing has been cringe. Have you been keeping up?
Dude, whatever the Bears social media team is doing with him, I mean, he looks kind of like a twink in street clothes, but two, like
Twink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anyone realize he doesn't know the difference between right and left? He had to do that. Did anyone see that?
That was bad.
It's very strange.
It has been cringe. And you want to know what it leads me to believe? And I don't know if this is just me being optimistic, but it leads me to believe that he's not going to do shit.
He doesn't have
it,
the
dude.
coach blood.
Is there
He doesn't have
He doesn't like. That's what it
anything to
seems
this
like.
here that I'm reading here?
No, that's all bullshit.
That's all.
Yeah, let's get through this
Why
and
don't-
then we'll
why don't
touch
we-
on that.
okay.
Well, you want to touch on that? Suppose there's this big rumor flying around that the refs from the Lions-Commanders game are all going to get fired because they did such an atrocious job.
They did do an atrocious job. That's not why the Lions lost, though. They lost because they threw 4 interceptions, fumbled the ball, and they got outworked, couldn't tackle a rookie quarterback. There's a long list of reasons why the Lions didn't lose, and the refs are on that list, but they're at the bottom of that list. So I highly doubt that. In fact, I believe the crew that did the Lions game is doing the Super Bowl.
I believe they are as well. That's what I read.
The refs that did the AFC game last week, they're the ones that need to fucking
Amen.
be
Agree with
investigated.
Back to Ben Johnson. It doesn't feel like it's going to work.
You know what? It's way too
Yeah, I
early.
know you're going to have
Way
that take.
too early to even go
You
there,
out of
dude.
everybody.
It's not about faith. I'm glad he's fucking gone. It's way too early to go there right now. We just need to let that play itself.
I'm not going to say that it is too early. I'm not going to
Way
say that
too
it's
early.
not going to work. I'll just say this much. The press conference was cringe. He's quoted Campbell multiple times and tried to play him as his own quotes.
Listen, he has no personality.
Yeah, no.
Okay?
Yeah,
He's fucking dull.
that's great.
So guess what?
That's a great way to put it.
It's the only way he could do is keep quoting Dan Campbell. That's the only personality he knows, the biggest personality he knows, and he's just riding off it.
What
He
Ben,
just needs to be able to do his fucking job, is what he needs to do.
what made Ben Johnson here is he had that like the Patriot-esque Patricia work ethic to where there was no one harder working in the building over the last 3 years than Ben Johnson. He was always the first to leave, or excuse me, the first to get there and the last to leave every
That
time.
don't mean he's working hard. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
That's all I'm going to say.
No, they're all you
Just
can't
'cause
deny
he's
what
the
their
first
offense
one there
did.
and the last one to leave.
You can't
Don't
no.
mean shit. You know what that
No,
means to
no,
me?
no. It
He's
does.
fucking working the clock. That's
It
what that
does. They were the highest scoring offense in the league this year, 4th highest scoring all time. Like it matters. But when you're a head coach, you have to oversee every element of the
Yeah.
game. And on top of that, he plans to call he's going to hire an OC, but he plans to call the plays.
Yeah.
That changes everything when you have to call the plays and oversee other things, and you're raising a quarterback in Caleb Williams. I think the offensive thing is going to work, but that doesn't make you a good coach. Like that, you can be like there's coaches that are really good at calling one phase of the game. Like the Bears defense was great under Eberflus. It always was. But that's one phase of the game. Like what makes Dan Campbell is he's not necessarily the hardest working guy in the building, but he's the smartest and he knew how to tie everything together. Like head coaches need to be a different beast. Like Vrabel is a different beast, which is why things worked for him in Tennessee and they're probably going to work for him in New England. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Ben Johnson, just listening to him, I don't know if he has that zhuzh at the moment. But I mean, I'm
Is
pulling
he
for
the
him.
motivator that Campbell is? Absolutely not.
No.
Guaranteed he's not.
No.
Guaranteed.
And this still
You know why? Because he can't bite ass cheeks and break toes. It's not him, dude. It's not him. It's not him.
the other thing here is
Campbell's a rare breed.
yeah.
You're not going to see another guy like Campbell. He's a rare breed. of a guy that can motivate guys. Because
A leader of men.
Listen to me.
A true
Do
leader
you
of men.
think, have you ever seen a head coach in the NFL that cares as much as Dan Campbell?
No.
And I'm asking honestly, that cares as much as Dan Campbell.
No.
Dan Campbell at the end of a loss wants to kill himself. Look at him. Look at him. Sobbing, breaking down. He's real. That's real. That's not a fucking act. My man, this is the type of guy when he gets in the fight, he balls while he's fighting and will beat your ass with tears running down his face. Because he cares that much.
Now, this is the big question I have: is can the Bears be a functional enough organization, and can Ryan Poles get enough guys there for them to actually build something viable that Ben Johnson can't?
100%.
Yeah,
They're not far off. They got, and I think whoever he hires as D coordinator matters. I think that's like one of the most important coordinator positions open right now is Bears DC because the pieces are there, right? The problem
They got
is
a
the
good
division's
defense.
tough.
They have a good defense.
The division's tough. The Lions are coming off back-to-back division championships. The Vikings are on the rise, won 14 wins in a year they were supposed to win 6. The Packers won 12 games or 11 games, whatever it was, with the youngest roster in football. Like, his work is cut out for him. That's why it didn't make sense to me. But offensively, it makes sense. Offensively, there's things that make sense, and I think the potential's there. But they have work to do. They have work to do in Chicago.
It worked to do here.
You want to talk about the extension here?
Let's do Aaron Glenn first.
Okay.
That's more important.
Aaron Glenn was named head coach of the New York Jets. This one we kind of thought this one was going to happen too.
Great fit, great landing spot.
Hey, good for him, dude. You know what? I like Aaron Glenn. I think he could do wonders with that defense over there. He has there's a huge talent disparity between Detroit and the Jets defensively, and I think he's going to have a great thing to deal with. He loves to play man to man, and that's something the Jets will do and will do well.
And it's a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
So they
Hold on. Do the terms on these deals matter?
Not really.
We see coaches get fired after a year.
all it means is he's going to get a lot of money when they fire him in 2 years. But
Who?
Aaron Glenn.
How do you know he doesn't turn it around over there, dude?
Listen,
Aaron Glenn's another motivator, dude.
you-
I don't
talking to
he's
you
a lot
about
like Campbell.
talking to you about the Jets is like talking to me about the Patriots.
Dude, really?
There's just
you
no
t-
point.
You tell me.
If they retain Aaron Rodgers for this upcoming season, they will win at most 7 or 8 games and miss the playoffs again.
Listen to me. If
You're the only
they
one.
listen, they had a lot of injuries. They can put this together. The thing is can Rodgers and Glenn coexist where Rodgers couldn't coexist with Saleh because Saleh is what Saleh is. Saleh is a good defensive coordinator. He's not a leader of men.
Well,
I got a feeling Rodgers isn't coming back.
I think he is.
And
what
then-
makes you think that?
Something's telling me he's coming back.
And then if he does,
I think he was waiting to see what they were going to do. Who are they going to hire? We don't even know. We don't know that. We don't know if he's coming back or not. I think it all depends on how he feels going into this year. Everybody forgets that I don't think he was totally healed from his injuries starting in the beginning of this year. I don't think he was totally back.
Well, you and Cam Newton agree because Cam Newton came out today on First Take and
What?
said that he thinks Aaron Rodgers still has MVP caliber football.
I
left
think he
in him.
does too. He showed that
When?
toward the end of this year. Toward the end of this year.
Aaron Rodgers showed you this year that he MVP
Yes,
caliber football.
yes.
left in him.
A man threw for over 300 yards in a game and was solid in that game when the defense actually was getting stops that they needed.
what about the other 16 games?
Yeah, the defense was fucking awful. You took a top fucking 5 defense from the year prior, and they're in the fucking late 20s.
Because he LeBroned.
fuck?
Because he LeBroned Robert Saleh. Because before they got rid of Robert Saleh, they were a top 3 defense, and then after that,
That's
After-
not true.
after Aaron
At the
Rodgers
beginning of the
LeBroned
year,
him.
from the get-go, first game of the year,
they were the third
the Jets'
ranked
defense
when,
was garbage.
They were the third ranked defense when Saleh got fired.
Listen to me. Yeah, well, guess what? His defense was not what they were the year prior, right from the get-go. They had no defensive end. They had the Bryce Huff thing going to Philly. Philly was supposed to get Hassan Riddick. That didn't happen to what? Week 8? Week 8? Week 9?
Just backtracking here on Glenn, excuse me, I'm Ben Johnson. It sounds like Ben Johnson is not taking any staff members. In fact, the breaking news Sam was referencing is that Lions offensive line coach Hank Fraley is not leaving for any jobs. He's not leaving for Seattle. He's not leaving to be a coordinator somewhere. He's not going with Glenn. He's not going with Ben Johnson. He's staying here to continue to be the offensive coordinator and the run game coordinator, so it's a bit of a promotion. And Fraley's interesting because Matt Patricia hired him. He goes back to Patricia's staff. So he'll be starting year 8 in Detroit, 3 with Patricia, and then this is his 5th year with Campbell. I mean, it's great to keep him. That's good.
Corona bottle bet?
Well received.
2017?
Very well received. Should be good. And then the tricky thing is Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn has a chance to poach from the Lions staff, whether that's Kelvin Shepard, the Lions linebacker coach, who might end up being the DC. There's also, on the offensive side, I've heard Mark Brunell's name come up for offensive coordinator, so keep an eye on how Glenn builds his staff out. I don't think he's at a press conference yet, so he hasn't even gotten to work, but keep an eye on that. But right now, the Lions are only out at the moment Glenn Johnson and Terrell Williams. So we'll see how it goes.
Whatever happened with Chris Spielman, possibly.
I don't know if he got a second interview.
Oh.
Chris Spielman's brother, Rick, who is the GM of the Vikings, Rick works for the 33rd team, who the Jets hired to consult in the search. So it may have been like a pity type thing. But
a pity thing?
Yeah, not necessarily because Spielman's qualified for the job, but it was like, well, look at my brother. Look what he's done in Detroit since he's been here. And then the Lions have also made some other hires and are talking to some people.
Okay.
Fill us in.
So yesterday, they were rumored to be talking to former Michigan Wolverine Larry Foote, who played here, won 2 Super Bowls in Pittsburgh, won a national championship for Michigan, and he's the linebackers coach for Tampa at the moment. He's a free agent, so he's not necessarily like he could still come here on his own and could be Shepard's replacement. Maybe they talked to him for DC, which is interesting. But Larry Foote's an interesting name because his linebackers have been very good in Tampa. But the big one,
he has one of the best linebackers in fucking history right there. Levante David.
Levante David. Yeah, but he's been there for the entirety of Levante David's, you know what I'm saying?
Top tier guy lasts, 15 years?
The big one, though, is they've already replaced Terrell Williams with Casey Rogers. Casey Rogers goes back to, he was on staff for the Cowboys when Campbell was there. He's coached DeMarcus Ware. He's coached a bunch of guys in Miami. I believe he was in Miami when Campbell was coaching in Miami as well. And he's been Tampa's D-line coach since 2019. And their D-line has finished in the top 5 every year, including first in most of those years. Tampa has one. Do they not come to mind when we think of some of the best D-lines in football, Uncle Sam? Tampa. Yeah. So the Lions have one of the better D-line coaches now, and he's not even DC, so they still have room to make a hire at DC. Great hire. I think it could be a very good deal. And next up is they just need to solidify DC. My guess is it might be Kelvin Shepard. There's a rumor that they're talking to Dennis Allen, who had some really monster defenses in New Orleans.
I thought Dennis Allen was already a surefire thing with Ben Johnson over there.
Just talking to Ben Johnson, not a surefire thing. Yeah,
I thought
Dennis
he was
Allen's
fired.
still up for grabs. Yeah. There's some good names out there for Lions DC. I think what ultimately ends up happening is they promote from within for OC. I think it's Tanner Engstrand's job to lose still. Maybe Scotty Montgomery. I think Brunell could end up leaving and they could bring in a fun quarterback coach. But DC,
well, you're not a fan of Mark Brunell, I take it?
Not as a coordinator, but I like what he's done with Goff. He's been great for Goff. Yeah. But you can get a good quarterback coach. Like those aren't hard to come by, in my opinion. They could promote they've had JT Barrett from Ohio State's been the assistant quarterbacks coach, and he's very well received in the locker room. So they could promote him. JT Barrett.
That kid was at Ohio State?
National champion, JT Barrett.
Not a fan of that one?
No.
Why?
No.
He's been
I would be the fan of the guy who was a 20-year vet in the NFL as a quarterback before I would be for JT Barrett. Sorry. I want that guy with experience that's seen it all. I don't want the fucking guy who played a fucking national championship, okay? You might as well bring in Doug Flutie then and have him be your fucking quarterbacks coach. What the fuck?
Do you know anything about the Raiders GM? John
Yeah,
Spytek?
He also was a national champion at Michigan.
Here we
played.
go.
He played with Brady. I think Spytek has been so well received because he was a right-hand man for Jason Licht in Tampa, but he's been in other stops. Like I think he goes back to some other coaching staffs, and he's more of a pro personnel guy. But in Tampa, he became an amateur personnel guy, and I think that's why he's very well received. That it seems to be an under the radar hire. People like the hire, but no, I don't know much about him, and I mean, it's
You don't think anybody should get some new blood? Where's Lincoln Riley, dude? Every year, Lincoln Riley is the fucking name thrown out there, and nobody hires this.
he can't even get into the college football playoff with one of the most expensive rosters in college football.
And-
He's had Heisman
mean?
Trophy winners. USC Lincoln Riley has never made the college football playoff, and he's had some really talented
Not
teams.
because of him. I mean,
A lot of people
his
think it's because of him.
offense. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury was living off his fucking tails.
Can I
At USC for a year, maybe.
No, he was living off his tails in college there.
Not at Oklahoma. He never.
Yeah, he was.
He never had Cliff Kingsbury at Oklahoma.
No, but his
Kingsbury was
system is the
Texas
same
Tech.
one. It's the same one as Kingsbury uses.
It goes back further. It's Mike Leach's system.
Well, we know that. R.I.P. Mike Leach.
Okay. Do you think that when it comes to guys like Lincoln Riley, that why would they want to go? Like, why would they want to go?
I wouldn't. Why would fucking Jim Harbaugh leave Michigan?
Because he had done it. He already.
Listen
he
to
won a
me.
national
Listen to me.
championship. He always
That
wanted to
guy
go
had a
pro.
job there for as long as he wanted. But guess what? I think when they slapped him on the wrist before he started cheating to win, they slapped him on the fucking wrist because he wasn't winning. They cut his pay. It all turned around from there.
They didn't cut his pay.
Yeah, they did.
They did not.
Yeah,
cut
they
his
did.
pay.
They cut his pay.
They did
Yes,
not.
they did.
They did not.
Yes, they
They
did.
didn't cut his pay.
Yes, they
Don't
did.
out Michigan me right now. They were.
I'm
making-
sorry?
They were going to make him the highest paid coach in
They
college football.
cut his pay.
They didn't cut his
They
pay.
cut his
They
pay,
didn't cut
and
his
it all
pay.
turned around from there. Yes, they did.
They did not cut his pay. They were going to make him the highest paid coach
Wow,
in college
dude.
football.
They cut
he didn't
his
like
pay
the assurances
2
that
years prior to him making it to the fucking college football playoffs. They cut his pay.
they did not cut his pay
Yes, they
last
did.
year, though. They
No,
did not
I
cut
didn't
his
say
pay.
they cut his pay last.
And honestly, they didn't
They
even
cut his pay
pay cut
2
came in
years.
2021.
There you go. There you go.
And then-
That's why he left
That's
Michigan.
not why he left. He
That's
left because
exactly
he won a
why.
national
Well,
championship.
that and he was going to get persecuted and molested
He's
by the
not gonna get-
NCAA
He's not going to get
for all the
persecuted.
violations.
It's not going to happen.
Anyway, that's why he's not
NCAA,
there.
if you wanna do this
Let's all
conversation-
be honest.
If you want
that's
to do
why
this,
he's not at
if you want to do
Michigan.
this conversation right now, the championship games ratings were the lowest they've been in 5 years, and on top
That's
of that,
because Ohio
they-
State was there.
on top of that, they announced the date for the 2027 game. It's like January 26th or something like that. College football is going to continue to go like this.
No,
because
college
they have
football's
no
in a
clue what
train
they're doing.
wreck. We know this. But
No.
what I'm saying is, this is why these coaches are bailing from fucking college and going to
Jim
pro.
Harbaugh was always going to go back to the pros. 'cause
I
he
don't
was
know
a
about
half
that.
away. Yeah, he 100%.
The guy
That's why
had a
there
for
was a
sure
rumor
job for as long as
He
he
interviewed
needed.
for a job every summer for
Listen to me,
6
he
years. He
molested
interviewed.
Michigan for fucking 9 years. And these guys have paid his, what was it? What was that stipulation in his contract that he had? He had fucking life insurance through the fucking goddamn Michigan Wolverines.
Most coaches have life insurance
My
through their
God, dude.
college.
Yeah,
Most-
but no, they were paying like $75 million. This guy dies. He's worth more dead than alive. I'm surprised his wife hasn't tried to kill him yet.
Anyways, Lincoln Riley's not going pro anytime soon because his college teams aren't even that good. That's why he's not.
He's a good offensive mind.
Look at Nick Saban.
Yeah.
What?
Nick Saban went to the pros and was dog shit.
Hold on. There's a story behind it.
Hold on now.
There's a story behind it. I don't know if you know the story. The theory goes, Saban's with Miami, right? You remember the Drew Brees trade to go to New Orleans? He went from San Diego to New Orleans.
Correct.
The theory goes that trade was in place for Miami, and they failed his physical. The Dolphins failed his physical because Drew Brees was coming off the catastrophic torn ACL, so they failed his physical, and
I
therefore
thought it was the shoulder.
maybe it was the shoulder. You're right. Something
Shoulder.
There was something bad. It was the shoulder. So they failed his physical. It ends up going through New Orleans, and he gets traded. Saban's teams in Miami were getting better and better, And his last team, I think, was 8-8 before he got fired. There's a theory, like Saban tells people,
Didn't even finish a year, dude.
Saban tells people that if I had Drew Brees, that I would still be
He
there.
didn't even finish a year. He was done.
And you know who else? You know who else agrees with that? Bill Belichick says if Saban got Drew Brees, would have been tough sailing for the rest of the league. He didn't get Drew Brees.
He went 15 and 17 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Saban.
Without a quarterback. He never had a quarterback.
Yeah.
True.
Still better than Matt Patricia.
Chad Pennington was his quarterback, if I remember correctly.
Pennington?
I think it was Chad Pennington, right? He might have even had Joey Harrington for a year or two.
Also, the Patriots safety Jabril Peppers was acquitted on all charges today.
On all charge, what did he do
But
now?
he did admit to having the cocaine in the wallet.
Correct.
Hold on. What did he do now?
You don't remember he got arrested at the
He
beginning
was
of the
falsely accused of choking his significant other, pushing her into a wall, taking off her clothing, and throwing her outside.
You know, I remember at U of M, that girl accused him of giving her a venereal disease, too. There was quite a few women that came forward on that at the University of Michigan about Jabril Peppers basically giving them all STDs. That's true, by the way. We cannot be sued for speaking the truth.
You heard it here first, man. You heard it here first.
Am I wrong?
I remember hearing that
Yeah,
story.
yeah. I'm sure you heard that story if you were on campus at that time. You should have heard. You should have heard more stories for all them girls.
There was another piece of breaking news that came out today.
Go ahead,
Cardinal star tight end is making history.
McBride.
Trey McBride is the first NFL player known to have same-sex parents.
Excuse me.
He was raised by two moms, Kate and Jen.
Okay.
So Trey McBride's parents are lesbians,
Okay.
and there's.
Well, obviously they're not his parents. Who's his father?
I'm not sure, but,
What?
but he has
What?
lesbian.
Somebody had to drop in there. Who did it? Mr. McBride. Is her name McBride or his name McBride?
One of their names is McBride.
Oh,
They are the McBrides.
okay.
Kate and Jen
okay.
McBride.
Is it Kate or is it Kat?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just said Kate and Jen. I'm just
asking, you know.
relaying the news.
Listen, I'm all for gay rights and all that stuff. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I do not have a problem with people that are gay.
I would go as far as Trey McBride maybe being the best top 3 pass catcher in football for tight end at his position. I think he's a top 3 player at his position. Am I crazy? Am I off there?
I'm sorry?
No.
Him, Bowers, this year.
Why is it a headline? Well,
maybe
because it's
Laporta, I don't know.
about-
Him and Bowers.
as far as tight. Okay.
It's how would you put that? It's
That's
woke.
It.
It's what is it? What is it again?
Anyways,
What is it?
I got
It's,
some other news.
Um,
I have some other.
I don't even know. Balls. Go ahead.
Geno Smith posted a picture of Pete Carroll on his Instagram story today. Could we see a Geno Smith to the Raiders?
Geno Smith is not good.
Geno Smith is dog shit, but whether or not Pete Carroll will take him.
It's got to suck to be a Raiders fan and not have a quarterback ever. Not have a quarterback since Rich Gannon.
Listen, they haven't had a quarterback since Kenny Stabler.
Yeah.
That was in the fucking 70s. I know that.
Another.
No,
piece
you
of
know what?
news.
I take that back. Jim Plunkett was pretty good, too.
Before we get into some picks here. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Shout out to Eduardo.
Edgardo, he can't even spell. You're so beat. You're so beat.
With a win on Sunday, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes will surpass Joe Montana for the second most playoff wins in history by an NFL quarterback. He will only trail
Playoff
Tom
wins,
Brady.
well, they play more playoff games than when Joe Montana played. So, yes, that's an easy record to break.
Well, got it. Okay.
That's why.
Just figured you would have.
There's more playoff
Figured
games
you
now.
would. Figured you
Am I
would
wrong on that?
figure one
Hold on.
little strand out.
Am I wrong
there.
on that or no? There's more playoff games than there was when he played.
However you want to justify it to yourself.
Is that what you're going to... What are you going to do when he starts breaking fucking Tom Brady's records?
It's not gonna happen.
You going to piss yourself?
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
It'll be a 10-year drought.
Okay.
10-year drought.
Ain't going to be no 10-year drought.
He's 4 halves
Pat-
away.
Patty
And I know you're going to
Mahomes.
pick the Bills and you're going to be adamant about it, but he's 4 halves away from doing something that Brady never did.
Correct.
Repeat, big deal.
Three-peat.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Nobody's ever done it. It's a big deal.
Not a big deal if he doesn't win 5 more. He's got to win 5 more.
He has to go to one more next year just to tie Jim Kelly.
Should we pick games?
Yes.
Did we miss anything in the news, Zolo? Did we
I don't
miss
think
any
we did.
news? I think we hit pretty much everything. We even got to Trey McBride's lesbian mothers. That's pretty much all of it. Okay. Well, let's start off in the NFC. It's the early game, 3 o'clock on Sunday at the Link. Washington Commanders are heading to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Philadelphia, a 6.5-point favorite. Over-under in this game is 47.5. Now, I don't want to just pick these games today because these are pretty important games. So when you make your pick, give some reasoning as to why you're making the pick. What? So you can just sit here and say, Philadelphia, because Jalen
exactly
Carter's the
what I
best
was
defensive tackle in the league.
That's it.
No.
Best defensive player in the league.
I want to hear why with a little bit of thought, even though Bruce is exempt from this because he's Tin Man.
Why? Because he's high?
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to start getting high, so I'm exempt.
there you go. Uncle Sam,
I'm exempt.
break down Philadelphia, Washington, and make a pick.
What's the temperature going to be?
Oh, mother. Philadelphia weather. It came up in my search. Philly weather. Sunday, it's going to be 40 and cloudy.
Warm.
Warm doesn't go in Philadelphia's favor, I don't think.
No.
No?
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
Fast
Is it
track.
supposed to rain?
No rain.
No rain in Philly?
No rain.
Huh?
No rain.
Interesting. I'm going to take the Eagles and the over.
Why?
Why? Because Saquon Barkley is a monster and he's unstoppable. And he will they're going to ride him to the trophy. Their defense is the best defense in the NFL. And we'll see if they can if they can slow down Jaden Daniels.
I am going to go Eagles in the under. If this game does go over, similar to what happened at Ford Field 6 days ago, if it turns into a track meet,
I don't
favors the
think it will 'cause
Commanders.
it's outside.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. But if it does, if it turns into a track meet, the Commanders will win
Yeah, Jalen.
because they could score with anyone. Their offense stays on the field. They're good at staying on the field. I think the difference in the game is going to be the Eagles' defense. I think the Eagles' defense has the pieces and the athleticism to not let Terry McLaurin beat them and to not let Jaden Daniels get too far out of the pocket when he does scramble. There's a blueprint. I think the only reason why the Commanders beat them 3 weeks ago, right? 4 weeks ago, whenever that was.
Yep.
The only reason that happened was
Kenny Pickett.
yeah,
Nobody played.
It was Kenny Pickett game.
The offensive line didn't even play. None of them did.
Jalen Hurts has been pretty much off the injury report all week. I think we're going to see the best version of Jalen Hurts that we've seen in over a month. And I think this is just trending toward Philly was built for this. Like this has been a 2-year build since they lost to in the Super Bowl 2 years ago to get back to this point. And I think they will ultimately. I'm looking for big games from the receiving core. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both end up putting up monster games. And I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas Goedert rips it up a little bit. But I'm excited to see Jaden Daniels. And usually when my team gets beat in any sport, when the team that beats my team, I'm like, fuck them. I don't want to see them do shit. I would be very open to seeing the Commanders go to the Super Bowl and not feel like that should have been the Lions. I wouldn't feel that way. I would feel good seeing the Commanders go to the Super Bowl because I think they'd be a fun team, and I love this Jaden Daniels story, and I'd want to see where it continues to go.
I'm gonna go in lockstep here. I think Philadelphia wins this game. I think Washington covers it. I'm gonna take the under. I just think it's a simple equation. They're going to run Saquon Barkley 30 times. He's going to have 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Washington's not going to be able to move the ball at will against the Philadelphia defense. But it's going to be a tight game. I do not think this is going to be a track meet.
I don't think it's going to be
I do not. I think they are going to have to both methodically move the ball down the field. You're going to see a lot of dink and dunking out of Jaden Daniels because I don't think that Philly secondary is going to allow for too many big plays. And I think both of these teams know each other so well at this point that they know you're not gonna be able to throw haymakers in this. You're gonna have to really work to win this game. And I think ultimately Philly takes it by a field goal.
There are similar. I was telling people this last week with the Lions. similar to how there were multiple avenues for the Commanders to win in Detroit, there are multiple avenues for them to win this game.
I agree with that too.
Don't be shocked if it happens. I'm just erring on the side of the experience and the talent level and the three phases.
The
of the
defense. The defense.
Defense is the big one.
Because I in no way, shape, or form think that Jalen Hurts is going to go out there and have a great
I actually
day.
thought Washington's special teams was really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I
it was
mean
incredible.
that might
They were out. They were lights out against Detroit.
that might give them an edge.
Yeah.
This game for me was very hard to pick, but Philadelphia's defense is just too fucking good. They're just too good right now. So I think Philly squeaks one out. And I truly think it's going to be a squeak out. But Saquon Barkley is the difference maker.
If he takes these guys to the Super Bowl, you don't think he should be in consideration for MVP?
The MVP is a regular season trophy.
I think so.
MVP is a regular season trophy. Not a playoff trophy. It's a regular.
Went for 2,000 yards. It's only been
He should
there's
he
a
be
handful of
considered?
guys
Yes.
that have done it.
Listen to me. Saquon Barkley, I agree. He should be considered for MVP, but he's not as valuable.
And he sat out the last game.
He is not as valuable as Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
I don't know about that.
Bruce, would you like to pick?
I do not think that they would be where they're at without him.
They were last year,
I don't think they would be where they're at this year without him.
but they were last year.
No, they weren't. They were bounced.
They got bounced in the divisional round. And what about the year before?
They didn't. They
Dude, they
barely-
did it with Kenneth Gainwell and
barely-
smoke and mirrors.
They lost their last.
Do you understand? Saquon Barkley for them adds an extra win. It makes things easier. That's all it does. Because you can predicate the offense around him. They've done it with garbage. They did it with DeAndre Swift. They did it with Kenneth Gainwell. They've been here and done it. Saquon Barkley
Kenneth
just makes it that
Gainwell.
much easier.
Kenneth Gainwell has played very good this year. This year he's been very good.
They should put him out there on Saturday or on Sunday.
Yeah, start him.
He
Give him
is
this
gonna
good
be
old
out there on
start.
Sunday.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Bruce, pick. What
This is quite easy.
That's that weed cough.
This is quite easy for me. I agree exactly with what Zolo said at the end for his picks. The Lions lost that game for what reason? Why did they lose?
because they shit the bed.
No, it was coaching. And you're this far into the year, these games come down to coaching. I'm going to take the Commanders.
Wow. Wow.
By the way, this guy is extremely stoned right now.
Extremely high. But that,
Extremely stoned right now. Okay.
was that good enough for you?
Do you know where you're at?
That was
Talk
nice.
shit?
That was nice. That was nice. I mean, I only talk shit when it's true. Before we get into the next game, we have another TikTok product to promote that you can go to our showcase and purchase. And I have to tell you, I'm wearing it today. I'm probably going to wear it on Sunday too, just because I don't have anything else to wear. And, you know, I need to support a team. So this is the team that I'm going to support going forward. And it's
He's
this
always been a bandwagoner.
very nice. Bruce, could you come in here on this, please? Come in here. Look at this sweatshirt. Here, we're going to close the laptop for a second. Look at that. Buffalo football, nice vintage feel, brand new materials, very soft.
What does that say? 19 what?
I don't know, 1960? I have
1960?
no idea if that has any merit.
That when the
or not.
Buffalo Bills came to
Probably
the
not.
NFL?
Probably not, but it has that vintage feel to it. Very nice material, soft on the inside.
Interesting.
Fits like a glove, and you should go on our TikTok shop and buy one. And you can pick your team. It doesn't have to be Buffalo. If you are from Philadelphia and you're butthurt that I'm going to talk shit about Nick Sirianni next week, then you could buy a Philadelphia one, or you could buy a Detroit one because most of you guys are Lions fans. You should go on there and buy them. Anyways, moving on.
TikTok just the guidelines hit us again for something. I don't know
Why? Because I said shit. Hey, TikTok. Shit. Okay, moving on. Game of the week. Buffalo Bills are heading to Arrowhead, where the fucking golden road to the Super Bowl goes through, to play Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite. Over-under is 48.5 points. Uncle Sam, I will let you say the same shit you've said all year. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
What do you want him to say?
Go ahead.
Can I have the weather report, please?
I don't think it really matters.
I do,
Why?
because I want to know.
They both
Sunday, Kansas
I wanna
City,
know.
32 and sunny.
Uh-oh. You know what that means? Patty Mahomes.
Wouldn't have mattered either way. Wouldn't
Taking
matter
Kansas City, going back to the Super Bowl with Patty Mahomes and Taylor Swift. And I'm going to take the over in this game. And I think it's going to be a shootout. And I think Patty Mahomes shows everybody who he is. And he makes Josh Allen his bitch because that's what he does.
Zolo?
I am going to go with. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Yes, I'm going to go with the Bills. If this Bills team doesn't get it done, and yeah, they should get better in the offseason, but if this Bills team doesn't get it done, they're never going to get it done. So this is their best shot at it. I don't know if Buffalo has what it takes to beat Philly. I do think they have what it takes to beat this Kansas City team right now. Again, same drill as the other game. I'll bet most of America's riding Kansas City as they should be, but I'm just siding on the side of something has to give. This is Peyton Manning finally getting over Tom Brady. I think that's what we're looking at right here. I'm looking for a big game on the ground from the Bills. They have to control the tempo if they want to win the game. So James Cook anytime stands out to me. And the Bills defense, it's not outstanding, but I do think it has enough to stop the run of Kansas City. It's just a matter of if the corners can keep
Please
up.
tell me Tony Romo's not doing that game.
Tony Romo's doing that game.
Motherfucker.
If Mahomes goes Mahomes and picks, you'll know early. If Mahomes picks this Buffalo defense apart, there's no way Buffalo can win this game. But if Buffalo can keep their offense on the field, make good decisions, don't turn the ball over on the road, I like the Bills' chances. Give me the Bills to win. Give me the under.
Interestingly enough, that's what Buffalo's done so far in this playoffs. Is they've ran the ball and they've done everything they need to do to win the game and control the ball and control the time of possession. And at the end of the day, I still think that what Josh Allen's done this year is good enough to win an MVP. And I think that everything that Zolo said with Peyton Manning finally having the team to get over Brady is right. This Bills team's played with a chip on his shoulder all year. This was supposed to be a rebuild. I truly, in my heart of hearts, look at this Kansas City team and think that it's not on the upswing. All of these dynasties always come down. They always come off. It is never there's never been a three-peat in the NFL. You want to know why? Because it's really, really hard. And at some point, somebody's going to figure out a way to beat you. The Bills already figured out a way to beat this Chiefs team one year. Patrick Mahomes, the clip's been circulating all week about he cried like a bitch that the refs cost him the game. Now, that gave him a taste of his own medicine. This is not the Chiefs' year. That is not to say that they will not be in the same spot they're in right now next year. They probably will. But at the end of the day, all dynasties have to come to an end. This Bills team, I truly think, has the sauce to not only stop the run, but put Mahomes in some fits. I think that the offensive game plan is different. I don't think that they're going to try and go into Arrowhead and get into a shootout with Mahomes. I think it's going to be methodical. Josh Allen's not going to have the 400-yard and 4-touchdown day. He's going to do just what he needs to do to control this game, utilize his legs, give James Cook the ball, and they will be able to win this one. I'm going to take Buffalo to win. I am going to take the under in this game as well. And I'm honest, Josh Allen anytime touchdown. And you have a Buffalo-Philadelphia Super Bowl. Bruce?
Give me the Chiefs. And the over.
That's why I talk shit right there. Right there. You know, he made it halfway. No explanation. Just that.
Patty Mahomes.
Not only is Patrick Mahomes,
Patty Mahomes.
but I think you've underrated the Chiefs' defense, and I think they've been playing better each week. So yeah, there you go. Taking the Chiefs in the over.
Great. That was great. Nicely done. So, with that said, after today, we've got one more game left to pick for the year. For the year. Crazy how time's flown, isn't it? Crazy. Here we are again. Anybody have anything to add? Anything that we missed? Anything? talk.
Congratulations to Ohio State winning the national championship.
Jack Sawyer. That game it ended up being closer in the second half.
I even heard Ryan Day was being considered to be an NFL head coach.
I hope he stays at Ohio State
That
forever.
would be abysmal. That would be horrendous. That would be just terrible. Out of all the teams that you see this weekend, which one would you like to see win the Super Bowl?
Commanders.
Really?
Commanders, yeah. Commander and Bill. The Bills would be cool.
You?
No, I agree.
Not-
I think
Go ahead. Pick
Not
Philadelphia.
Not Philly.
Pick Philadelphia.
The
You just want to
Commanders-
say Philadelphia.
I
the
think
answer-
Philadelphia is going to win, but if I had a team that I would like to pick, it would be Commanders.
They're the team you're getting
Just,
behind.
just because I love the Jaden Daniels scenario, and he's the first guy since Marino to actually do something like this. So
The answer to the question is I just don't want to see Philly win.
No.
That's it.
I hope Philly wins.
There's only one team I would like to see win less than Philadelphia, and that's Kansas City.
I don't mind seeing Kansas City win because they've
How?
earned it because they're good and they've
They're
earned it.
not good.
I do because
good.
they're,
not
Great.
they're going to
good.
force feed fucking Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift up everybody's ass. I don't want to fucking see that. I really don't. And then Kermit the Frog's going to get up there. Nobody believed in that. And I don't want to fucking see it.
Andy Reid's already doing that. He's already telling people we're the underdogs.
That's what he does. Just
Yeah,
like-
I know.
Goddamn
I'm done, dude. I'm so
Asperger's.
done. I am so
Asperger's.
fucking done. I'm so done. I am so done. I'm so done. You want to know something funny that I've noticed on here? So there's this account on Twitter called ML Football, and they're doing their awards right now. Have you seen them by chance?
No.
And they're actually pretty fantastic, I must say. Worst Offensive Player of the Year award finalist: Kadarius Toney, Zeke Elliott, Debo Samuel, Deontay Johnson, or Jalen Waddle.
Oh, man. I don't know.
It's for me. It's got it. Deontay Johnson, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. Couldn't make it happen anywhere. He had his pick of teams. Worst player of the year, worst quarterback of the year. Oh no, worst player of the year finalist: Deshaun Watson, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Daniel Jones, or Tyreek Hill.
That's got to be Watson.
Sean Watson.
He has to play though. I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean,
He did play.
Watson. What?
Yeah.
One game.
Whatever, dude. He's dog shit, dude.
Yeah. But you know, one that I saw was interesting, and this is where I wanted to go with this, was for his worst defensive rookie of the year award, Terrion Arnold made the list.
Terry Arnold had an incredible year. And on top of that, he's on everyone's list for like a breakout candidate.
It was
next year.
Darius Robinson, Ruka Roro, Adacia Isaac, Dallas Turner, and Terrion Arnold. And then worst offensive rookie of the year, Roma Dunze, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, Kingsley Sumatitata or whatever, and
Suamatiya.
Malachi Corley. So, they're worth checking out. Anything to add? Uncle Sam,
I don't know, dude.
you want to give some shout outs for the weekend or what?
Shout out to what?
I don't know.
Shout out to what?
AFC Championship? NFC Championship? You going to eat anything
You know
good?
what? There's a couple of guys I would like to see go further and win a couple Super Bowls. And it's not the usual suspects, you know. I think Josh Allen's played really well. And if they get past Kansas City, I don't think they're going to, but they do, and they go to a Super Bowl. Congrats, dude. Congrats. It's been a long time since they've been there. And he's living in the shadow of a guy who was a basically the king of the no huddle offense. I mean, he was the first guy that did it, the K gun, and that's a hard thing to try to come up after and get them fans behind you, you know, because Jim Kelly was loved in Buffalo. So
Zolo, anything
I
from you?
give him a lot of credit. I'd like to see him win one.
Yeah, I got something real quick.
Go.
Someone compared what the Lions are going through right now to Michigan's arc, where Michigan in 2021, happy to be there, made the playoff, got blown out by Georgia. So that's Michigan making it and losing, or that's the Lions losing in San Francisco last year. 2022, Michigan gets upset by TCU and lets everyone down when they were the 1 seed. That was the Lions this year. In year 3, Michigan beat some really good teams, ended up winning a national champion. I'm looking at it half glass full that next year is going to be the year. There's $60 million in cap space. They got a couple good draft picks. I think some guys are going to come back. I think they might be able to get some guys on some discounts, and I think it could all add up to make a recipe for this window being open for like 3 or 4 years.
I think so too.
And I think next year is the start of something beautiful. I'm looking forward to it.
Bruce, you got anything to add?
Nope.
Never fails to disappoint, does he?
No.
What do you want from me? There's no Lions football anymore.
That's it. Fuck it.
Checked out.
The depression is set in.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of
Goodbye.
the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure you check out our TikTok. Remember to follow us there where you can watch us live Mondays and Fridays sometime around 5. Thank you guys so much for chiming in. We love to hear from you in the chat. See you guys on Monday.